it started as something I just decided to throw out there during a what's next, and it turned into a worldwide challenge. But how did we do with it? Stick around and find out. Welcome to the Christian Indie Writers Podcast, where we encourage, inform, and support Christian indie writers on their journey toward publication. I'm Jennifer Carl Tong, and I write historical Christian romance.
And I'm Jamie Hirschberger. I write short fiction under the pen name J.R. Nichols.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Good morning to Catherine Carroll, who is already in our chat. Good morning, Catherine. Catherine, who is one of our faithful Patreon friends that we appreciate so much. And Catherine, I want to know if you're enjoying the 12 days of Christmas that we're doing over at Patreon, and also if you're getting all the emails, because we don't know for sure that the emails are going out. So I'm trusting Patreon that you're getting them and that everything is getting delivered. But we are on day 5 of our 12 days of Christmas. And so if you are a Patreon supporter, you will already have received, even this morning one went out, 5 different gifts from us to celebrate the holiday. If you are not a supporter and you want to celebrate the holiday with us, why don't you go on over to Patreon and follow us, and you could still catch up with all of you'll get all 12 of the gifts if you join us anytime in the month of December. So I know it's fun, and I'm like excited, and we got feedback from the first email that went out. So we know that the first one that everybody got, that one that had because our first email had the first 3 days in it instead of 1 day, 2 day, 3 days. So we know they got that one, but I just want to make sure everybody's still getting stuff. I'm just paranoid, I guess, about that. Oh, Catherine says, I've been getting emails and enjoying the gifts. Awesome.
Hooray!
I'm really happy about that. So you're going to love today's. So, yeah. So you might notice that we don't have Tina with us today. She's not feeling well. She's missing out though, because we're going to have a fun episode. A little bit less meat this episode. We're going to discuss the challenge, kind of with what went on with us, and we'll get to our chatty chat at the end of the episode. Talk with everybody. Catherine says those 3 gifts are amazing. Thank you, appreciate that. So the other 2 weren't amazing. Is that what you're saying? I'm just kidding.
Oh, Jen, we do also have to tell people that there's a 12-day and you want to join before the 12th so that you can get involved in all of the things that are involved with the 12 days of Christmas.
Oh, true.
Right? I'm not sure how much I'm supposed to say.
Well, I've been putting it in the emails because I want people to put it on the calendar. So you go ahead. Spill the beans.
So on the 12th, we're going to have the first ever Christian Indie Writers Holiday Christmas Party. That's right. We're going to get together by Zoom because sadly I don't live in Michigan anymore. Womp. But that also means that all across the nation and around the world, if you are one of our patrons at the $5 level, you can party with us. Shenanigans and stories and sprints and fun and all kinds of stuff are planned for the night. So sign up.
Yep. And I've been calling it the virtual office party. So imagine shenanigans, ugly Christmas sweaters or apparel or whatever. And we've got some fun things planned. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's always fun when we get together with our patrons. They're so great.
They're hilarious. Not a dud in the bunch, right?
Yeah, it's weird calling them patrons because I just feel like they're our friends. Because really, at this point, majority of them have become our good friends. Catherine's a good friend of ours now, but it's just a way to differentiate because we have a lot of friends over on Facebook too that have just been good friends too. But we appreciate everybody who helps support us on Patreon. It helps to keep this podcast going and for us to be able to also make some future plans of things that we've been wanting to do that we just didn't have the finances to do. So if you like what we do and want to support that, join us over there, please.
Yeah, or at least give us a like and a subscribe on YouTube so that we can spread the word.
Exactly. All right. Well, speaking of joining us, we had quite the November. So if you if you follow us, if you've listened to any of our podcasts in the past couple months, you know that we talked in October about how NaNoWriMo was dead. Like there had been issues with Nano. I remember when I first found out, because I was like not paying attention to the writing world for a while, and I mentioned Nano, and our chat like lit up. Like, like, have you not heard what's going on with Nano? And I'm like, no. And like this is all like unfolding live, like last year, like maybe it was 2 years ago. I think it was last year. And I'm like, no, what's going on? And so after the podcast, I went and did a deep dive. And anyways, we have a full episode about that just this October. So go back and look in our YouTube or in Spotify, wherever it is that you listen to or watch us. Anywho, so then it came the end of October and it was the last episode. And we're like, well, what are we going to do? I don't know. And I, being either the visionary that I am or the fool that I am, said out loud, I think I'm just going to sprint I think my goal is going to be to sprint one time every day in the month of November. And Jamie, cheerleader that she is, or the fool that she is, said, that's a great idea. We should all do that. She sounds exactly like that. I'm really good at impersonation.
It's perfect.
Perfect, spot on. And like literally in the last 5 minutes of the last I think it was our last episode of October, this decision was made. We were going to do a writing sprint challenge. And it kind of grew really quickly. Where Jamie's like, we're gonna need to call it the 30 DAOs, which of course got Piper on board, and she's like, I don't know if you want 30 DAOs, because days of writing sprints, DAOs. She's like, I don't think you want 30 DAOs. There's one of us is enough. Ha ha ha. That's the last name. And yeah, so we made it where Jamie, did you create the form where they could fill it out? I believe you did.
Yeah, so that you could track, let us know that you're participating.
And it was the best we could do under it was way better than I could have done. And it was the best we could have done under the conditions. It probably wasn't the best way to keep track for us on our end to try to see everybody that was doing things. But so we had a way for you to track, or for at least to put your information in. And we also opened up to our Patreon supporters that we would sprint once a day, and if they wanted to join us live, they could sprint with us. So we sprinted every Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and then every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. And that went pretty well. And then after a while, our friend and supporter Elise Seal said, hey, I want to support this. I love this idea. What can I do to help? So Elise started showing up every Saturday morning. She sprinted with us most days. And then she showed up every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. and did a book coaching session for whoever showed up. They got free. We all got free time with Elise. And then she also is doing we were supposed to do that today. Not ready. Okay. Tune in next week. We will do the giveaway. We will figure the giveaway out. We will do it behind the scenes and we will announce it next week. But whoever wins will find out before then.
What giveaway? What are the deets?
Elise offered that one person who sprinted the whole month, we would do a drawing, and so everybody who did it got their names put into a drawing, and we would do a drawing, and one person was going to win a 15,000 word book coach session with Elise, where she'll look and she will do a whole book coach thing on your writing for your 15,000 words. It could be the beginning of your book. That's what she suggests, is the beginning of your book, but it could be any part of your book you want. And so that was really cool because we did not plan on having sponsors, but I mean, this writing challenge had a sponsor already. So that was pretty cool. So in a nutshell, that's how it got started, and that kind of, but let's talk about how it went. So Jamie, do you want to go first? Like, how did it go for you? The writing sprint challenge?
It was very okay. I have a lot of thoughts. First of all, I found it very interesting, the different approaches that everybody took to this challenge. when we started to talk about it, Jen had a different goal than I did, right? Jen, I believe that you really wanted to try and see if you could like put Marnie's story together. Am I wrong? Or was that
So
kind of like what you were thinking? Yeah.
No,
No, I'm saying at the beginning.
at the beginning, I'm like, I'm just gonna sprint in her story. That's it. I'm only just gonna sprint her
Okay.
story. Like I had no plans other than that.
And then I was like, I'm just going to sprint, period, because I hadn't really been doing any writing at all. No, I'm going to change that. I had not been doing any writing at all, except for what we do for the podcast. Intellecting, sure. Fantasizing about being a best-selling author, sure. But actually writing only on Fridays. And so when I heard of this challenge, I immediately thought, what a good way to kind of like bring writing off the back burner for me and put it up in the front with my other obligations. And, maybe I will decide that I want to be a writer more than I want to go play pickleball, or more than I want to go and try out for a play, or, and so I wanted to see what it felt like to be writing again, really. And so that was my goal at the outset.
And how
Do you
do you
want
think?
me to continue, or do you want?
How did that go for you? So that's your goal. Did you meet your goal?
Well, I did sprint every day, even though sometimes I had to miss the communal write-in. I did make it a priority to take a 15-minute timer and write. And really, I don't know. I feel like the answer is yes, because I do have more of a writing mindset. But the complications are, we've also been doing like the 12 days of writing sprints, and the podcast has become front of mind. So I don't know if it's the podcast coming to front of mind, bringing I think they have worked together, but I do feel like the sprinting every day was a big part of it. And honestly, what I miss the most about not doing that anymore is just an excuse to like hang out with my friends for
That's okay
an
too.
hour a day. I mean, it's a pretty big commitment to try to like be available every night at 8 or every weekend morning at 8. But I did really enjoy that part of it. And so I think I did meet my goal, and I do think it achieved its intended purpose. And what it really did that I did not plan, this was not a goal. I did not set out with this ideal of like, I want to know what it feels like for writing to be fun. But that's what happened, because throughout the course of the sprints, I started to think how it felt so different than NaNoWriMo, because NaNoWriMo was like, write a 50,000 word novel. And you think, what story am I going to tell during Nano? And you go into it with this ideal of, I'm going to write that book about a dragon that I always wanted to write, or whatever. And you have this project that you're trying to write 50,000 words for. And this was writing to prompts. And so it was a different prompt every day. And it just felt too fragmented to feel the way that Nano felt. So I felt like I had to have like a cohesive story that I was working on. And I thought about like, is that what I needed? Isn't it what I needed? But then what ended up happening is I developed characters that I liked in a world that I liked. And then I just kind of started writing in that world, because it was like, oh, how would they interact with this prompt in this world? Right. It kind of gave me help with the prompt. Right. Does that make any sense? Because sometimes you 100%. Look at the prompt and you're still like, what am I going to write? Like the prompt is not prompting.
Right. Yeah, 100%. So for me, like we said earlier, my goal was I'm just going to sprint in Marnie's world. That's it. No pressure. I want to make sure that I'm writing every day for 15 minutes, get my brain glowing. If you don't know what we mean by that, we have past podcasts. We also have a book called 30 Days of Writing Sprints that we have a little short chapter on it. But anyway, I'm just going to do that. And I want to do it in Marnie's world. And you know why? For the same reason that Jamie said that, like Marnie's world is fun. Like I don't feel stress or pressure when I'm writing Marnie and Mr. Boss. I just feel fun. Like it makes me happy. And I'm like, you know what? because we talked again, if you follow us at all, the Nano Curse, November is a rough month for me. And you guys, I made it through November.
Yay!
I did. Like, I didn't give up. I didn't I really feel like this challenge really helped me just to stave off the depression that seems to attack me during November. Um, like there's still bad things that happen every month, right? But like
Yeah.
I really feel like this was a turning point for me. It was, yeah. So for me, that was my goal. And I feel like I accomplished it plus more. So
Mm.
what we did was we would show up at 8 and the goal was 15 minutes. And after that 15 minutes, you could leave. Like no one had to, there was no obligation, but very seldom did anyone leave after that 15 minutes. There were days that we had that we're just
Mhm.
like Thanksgiving, the night before Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving night, those were rough, right? I think I only
Mhm.
did, 15 minutes of those. But in general, we're like there. So we talk for 5 minutes. We're like, oh, time for another sprint. And then we would sprint again. And usually we were there for like a full hour. And that was so fun. And then sometimes we would stay longer just to chat or to share. That's the thing that we got to figure out how to work in better. We did
Mhm.
have one night where we were able to do some feeding of the backs, and that was a lot of fun as well.
Mhm.
But like Jamie pointed out earlier, my goal was originally just a sprint in Marnie's world. But then as the month went on, because you guys know me, I'm a planner. Like I felt
Yeah.
like I needed to I felt like it was just too disjointed. I felt like it's so much sprinting without any organization. And so I struggled with that. And I started to do some thing. And luckily, one Saturday morning, I mean, luckily for me, not for anyone else, but nobody had anything to talk with Elise about. And so we
Mm.
talked about my book, and it was great. It was like, because not only do you have Elise there, but you have all these other writers that have opinions, many of them who have listened to this story just
Yeah.
yeah, just naturally as it comes through in the sprinting on the podcast. And so there was lots of great opinions and people helping me out. Oh, we lost Jamie there for a second, it looks like. Hopefully she'll get back to us. So I found that I really felt like I needed to have more like of a structure. So that helped me so much to be able to have talk that through on that Saturday morning. And one of the other Saturday mornings, we talked through our friend Teresa, one of our supporters. We talked through her book, and it was just her and I the Friday night. It was Black Friday, and we're the only two that showed up that night. And she was telling me that she was kind of struggling with, like, she's like, I feel like I'm just writing. Like, I like what I'm writing, but what am I going to do with this? I feel like there's a story there. I said, are you coming tomorrow? She's like, yeah, which shout out to Teresa. I don't think she missed a single sprint that we did. She for sure did the 30 days. She's the only one I know of for sure that did the full 30 days, because even I missed one day. Not only did I miss the one day, like in our sprinting, but I didn't sprint all that day. And so, I only was a survivor. I wasn't a winner. But anyway, Teresa won it. And Teresa on that Saturday morning, she got to be the book coached person. And
Mhm.
I think that helped her an awful lot. And that was really exciting for me to listen to our friend. She's been our friend for a long time now here on the podcast, who has never published, for her to be able to get excited and to see a story coming together that she could really see herself finishing. That was worth it right there. All of
Yeah,
this made
yeah.
that worth
It
it to
was
me.
very much cool to see Elise in action. And that's the one thing that I wish that people who are eligible for this drawing
Mhm.
that did not get the sneak peek. I think that they're just in for an amazing treat when they get in front of, so to speak, Elise, because I could see her pivoting based on the needs of what project that was before her,
Mhm.
and her ability to kind of like make you think about things you maybe hadn't thought about. I can see how that could be very freeing and unblock a lot of blocks that people might have.
Right. Catherine says, I write pretty much every day anyway, so I didn't go into it with the goal other than to hang out with my writing friends. Goal achieved.
Oh, yeah. And
That was
Catherine
fun.
always brings so much humor and wit and fun to the
Mhm.
gatherings. Yeah. It's so great. It was such a great mix of people.
Yeah. So, like I said, I went 29 of the 30 days, and I'm disappointed that I didn't make it that 30th day, but honestly, 29 days out of 30 days I was
Yeah.
writing. And I have not been writing every day since. However, I cannot get my story out of my head now. I think about my book all the time. What Jamie kind of alluded to as well is that the three of us, while doing this sprinting challenge, we also were preparing for the 12 days of Christmas. We had to have that ready to go December 1st. And so some of my writing time after the initial sprint, some of my writing time was spent working on podcast stuff. But honestly, that's part of my writing career too. So I felt
Hmm.
excited that I was like progressing in what we were doing there. Oh, I think one other thing I wanted to say too, as far as like whether I was successful or not, the first sprint was always on the prompt.
Yeah.
Like everybody else didn't have to. If you didn't want to do the prompt at all, you didn't have to. But the three of us had to do the prompt. And the reason being is we made the commitment that we're going to come out with another writing sprint prompt book. And
Hmm.
so we needed to put the work in for that. So sometimes the prompt was really great for Marnie's World. And sometimes it wasn't. I would say about 50% of the time, it ended up being a Widows of the West type of a
Mm.
writing for me. But then when I finished that one, then the next sprint or two was either if it wasn't doing podcast stuff, then I was doing Marnie's World. So I have a lot of sprints now from Marnie's World just from November. And so that was exciting for me. And I feel like I've made progress in a lot of different areas of my career just from doing this silly little 15-minute challenge. And it was great for me.
Yeah, and it was only 15 minutes. And so if you think about it, what you would have had to do to have the same level of success in a challenge where you're supposed to write 50,000 words, you
Mhm.
would have had to write over 40,000 words because you would have had to be shy only about 3,000 to be
Right.
one day miss, right?
Right.
And instead, you're able to feel like you accomplished a similar amount of benefit. It's like the benefit to effort ratio is way
Yeah.
better this way. I feel like, especially if you're someone who's, for lack of a better word, kind of wounded around your writing,
Mm.
kind of limping
Yeah.
back to it or trying to find your way back to it. I think this is
Mhm.
a way more manageable commitment.
And I will say that word count was not part of this challenge. It's
No.
never gonna be part of this challenge, but it's still nice to see, right? So I did all of my sprinting in one document, but I used headings so that I could easily find the day and the different prompts and like that. Um, which I can show at the beginning of before next year, before we do April, because April will be our next writing sprint challenge. That I can show how I did that if anybody wants to know. But anyway, I what was my do you guys remember what my it was like 14 or 15,000 words. And you guys, that's really sprinting one 15-minute sprint a day and then maybe an additional one because I was doing a lot of podcast work, which
Mhm.
hopefully in April I won't be doing. Our friend Teresa that we mentioned earlier, who has not published anything yet, she got over 20,000 words in this month just doing 15-minute sprints and hanging out with her friends. You guys, 20,000 words. She does 3 months of that and she's got a novel. Like,
Mhm.
right? So this is a fun little challenge, but it really did make a difference in my life and I think it made a difference in Teresa's life and um yeah, so I'd love to know in the comments, those of you that are listening. Yeah, we'd love to hear what you did and how it worked for you because we know that not everybody was able to join us on our Patreon page. We have Patreon supporters that never joined us either, but that we know
Mhm.
that support us. So we would love to hear from you guys and see how it went. But I'd like real quick, Jamie, to give a shout out to those that did fill out because I know people also didn't go over and fill out the daily little log. Um, but a shout out to our friend Dawn,
Woo
who
woo!
who was with us often, but often did it on her own as well because of her time zone. Our friend Piper Dow, shout out to her.
Hey, Piper.
We mentioned Teresa already.
Teresa.
We have Laura B.
Laura
Again,
B.
Laura, we've not met. I don't think we've met Laura actually in Patreon, but she's a friend of ours, and we appreciate you, Laura. Elise Seal was somebody who we had to give a shout out to. Christy and Sadie.
Go, Christy and Sadie.
I'm very excited. For sure, Christy sprinted. I think that there was at least one day that Sadie might have as well, but I see Christy's name in here multiple times, so that's very exciting. Of course, we already mentioned Catherine.
Yay, Catherine.
If I missed your name, it's probably because you did not fill out. Oh, Dawn's in here a lot. So if we did not say your name, it's probably because you didn't fill out the thing, which is fine. That wasn't necessary. But hopefully next time, I'm hoping to have a different metric, a different way of doing this. If you are by chance a coder, somebody that could do some things on a website for us in a way that would make this fun, and you would like to help this ministry out, reach out to us. We'd really appreciate it. I do have a friend I'm thinking about asking. I've not talked to him in a while, and I know he's busy, so I don't know how that's going to go, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, the cool thing is that we have lots of, this is exciting, but we also have like lots of dreams too. This could be something really fun in the future. So yeah, so that's how it went for me, and that's how it went for what I did. Oh, I should show the graphic. So when you completed this, if you get our email newsletter, or you follow us on Patreon, you did get this in the mail. If you did not get this in the mail, it's because I didn't know how to get it to you. So if you participated and you want one of these, I'm about to show it here. Give me 1 second. My computer's running kind of slow. This is so fun when you get to listen to somebody, just, you know.
Well, and I also want to just, there it is. There we go. Yay. It's all of our smiling faces and a banner.
And it says winner. So if you did 30 days and you would like this banner, then send us an email and we will get, or reach out to us through social media and we will get it to you. If you participated, you could also get this one, which just says Survivor, 30 days of writing sprint Survivor. We all deserve that. If you did it for one day, if you thought about doing it, whatever you think, we would love to be able to support you by sharing this with you. So reach out to us. We also have certificates. So if, again, we didn't know how to get it to you if you didn't fill out the paperwork, or if you didn't follow us on Patreon. So again, we'd love to get that to you so you can reach out to us. But yeah, I think it was fun. I think next time we'll be a little bit more organized. You know, we will probably not wait to the day before, the week before, to start talking about it.
I like how you say probably.
Probably. I mean,
well, we know it's coming this time, right? Like,
yes.
Because what our intention is to do this every month that has 30 days. Is that correct?
Not every month. We're going to do November, April, and June.
Okay.
Because isn't there another month?
September.
Yeah, 30 days has September, April, June, and November. Yeah, we're not doing September. September is too crazy. Back to school, and it just is too crazy. Harvest time for people that are farmers. It's just it just won't work. But June might be a little bit of a stretch for some people, but we're going to give it a try. But for sure, September and April are going to be.
You mean November? Sure. November and April.
Yes, what I say, September. Sorry.
Yeah, but that's November. Fine, because if you do November and April, that pretty much effectively replaces what you were doing before.
Agreed. Yeah. And in a much more fun way. Like Jamie pointed out, it was a lot of fun for us.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah. Shenanigans abounded.
Right. All right. Well, I think that kind of sums up what we're going to do from here, how it went for us. We would love to hear your story. Please leave it in the comments below, or if you are in our Facebook group, which if you would like to
Mhm.
be, the link is below in the show notes. Go on over to our Facebook group and share with us how it went for you. I know that our friend Elise did a post in the Facebook group that talked about, like, she asked, like, how did it go for everyone, or what were your thoughts? And so head over there and just add on to that. Yeah, I like
Yeah, and especially if like we've never met you, we talk a lot about how we've met many of our listeners. I don't want you to feel like that we don't want to hear your story too. We're so excited every time that we hear from a new friend. So please feel free to reach out.
And we're not just using the word friend lightly. Like,
Mm-mm.
literally, Catherine has become a friend of ours. She
Yeah.
and I have had conversations outside of writing. Teresa and I, Friday night, we stayed and talked for a long time. We have a lot in common when it comes to grief, and we were able to share some things and talk. And like, she is my friend, and that this is a podcast, yes, and we talk about writing, yes, but it really is what we want. Our goal is to make it a community, because when we first started writing, Jamie and I didn't know each other. I was on an
Mm-mm.
island all by myself. I didn't know what to do next. I was just kind of doing everything on my own. And then I met Jamie and Rhonda and Tina and a couple other ladies, and discovered that having a writing community made my career go so much farther, so much faster than I ever could have done on my own. So we just would like to be able to just have this community of, so that nobody feels like I did at the beginning of my
Mm-hmm.
writing journey. So
And we're not selling a big course.
no, no.
We're not after your ducats.
And every penny that comes in through any sort of like donation through Patreon or whatever, it goes right back in the podcast.
Yeah, we spend it on Buzzsprout or whatever.
Yeah, the things that,
It's
so you can
not
still see.
nothing fun. It's like when
It
you
will
have to
someday.
get the plumbing replaced in your house, you feel like all that money for something I will not see. But you
Right.
know it has to be done because you need functioning faucets and toilets, right? Do you know what I mean? But you
Yes.
still feel like, why do I have to spend money? And I won't be able to like look at it and be like, that's where all my money went. So that's how it goes. Oh, look, Piper.
Piper
She
says,
says,
go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead. Oh, morning, my peeps. Popping in quickly just to say I'm 100% with you. You are my very good friends.
Same.
Oh,
We feel the
so
same about you,
cute. I
Piper.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
all right. So it's time for us to move on to our favorite part of the podcast, and it is the feeding of the backs. And
Wow.
yeah, and this is where we, like we did all month long, we take a sprint prompt and we spend 15 minutes writing to it. We don't edit it. We don't even look at it again before we come on here and we share it live to all of you good people. So, Jamie, why don't you tell us what the prompt was, and then share your sprint with us?
Okay, today we wrote to a 5-word prompt, meaning your goal is to use as many of the 5 words in your prompt as you can. Today's 5 words were estate, left, spell, craft, and member. So I wrote with my little characters and my little world that I got excited about during Sprint Month. So I think I might have shared one on a different episode with these people. So hopefully they will feel a little familiar. When Feck and Sparrow left the baker, it was not without a bit of trepidation on Sparrow's part. What she had seen of his abilities to craft and to spell made her feel she and Feck were not at all equipped for the journey that lay ahead. Do you think we should have brought him along? Sparrow asked, looking up at the sandy yellow walls of his domicile as they passed by it on the main road. What? The baker? Nah. Feck did not look back. He'd slow us down for certain. And what's to say to come with us anyhow? They fell into their usual pace, Feck about 3 steps ahead, and Sparrow walking in her thoughtful way alongside the creature, who struggled to keep pace with her due to her many glances over the shoulder. Finally, Sparrow stopped walking entirely and turned to look fully back at the entrance to the settlement. Her hands wrung the straps of her pack and she chewed her lips, thinking. A scene formed in her head, a procession moving along the road. It was a tribute, she realized, to a fallen soldier, warrior, Royalty princess? As the details eluded her, she allowed the vision to show her what it would. Rows of orderly marching tunes, flower bedecked horses and creatures, road lined on either side with weeping and mourning onlookers. At the same time, she faintly perceived the creature's departure as he hastened to retrieve Feck and disregarded his annoying response. Something about, "Don't touch me with that creepy snout," then felt them both coming up behind her. "What gives, Ro?" Feck asked, though his annoyance seemed to have fallen away. Sparrow thought she told him what she was seeing, but her own narrative of the events was just as much a part of the vision as the blossoms that were thrown onto the road before the funeral procession. "Someone great has left us," she said in the vision. "Things will never again be as they were." Something bumped into her back, and Sparrow once again stood on the almost empty road. Turning, she saw the creature and Feck in a sort of tussle. Feck bent over it, attempting to grab it around its middle, while it tried to get its snout up between his legs to encircle him. Wait, she's back now."
Oh, Jamie, I love this so much. I love you writing fantasy. I love like the way that you handled the vision was so good. Like, I think it's hard to do visions. Like, just like it's kind of hard to do a flashback without like saying she flashed back to a time, like, and you just handled that really, really well. And I
Oh,
forgot
thanks.
about the creature. So like
Yeah.
I know, and his snout, like so like I'm already like getting like images in my head of what this creature looks like. And I love that you love these characters. So that means that you're gonna keep writing in them. So this is exciting. And like in your mind, is it a children's book? Like, do you think it's kind of like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe kind of age, or is it like adults? Like, what are your thoughts?
Um, I liked reading this kind of stuff when I was in like a sophomore in high school. So
Mm-hmm.
probably around like 15, 14, that kind of an age. And so it feels sort of like middle grade, probably like Percy Jackson age audience, but more
Yeah.
like people who want a more sophisticated writing
Yeah.
style, because I felt Percy Jackson was written a little too like a newspaper, just
Yes.
the facts and kind of basic and simple language, right?
Yes.
And so, yeah, so that's the answer.
Yeah. So I'm not that age, but I do enjoy reading that. And so
Mhm.
that makes it exciting to me. Like I would
Ye-
love to see you produce that kind of writing cuz yeah. Like it feels like this is not a book, but maybe it is. Like the never-ending story or
Yeah.
like that kind of feel of like and it makes me feel nostalgic too for some reason. Maybe it's just a me thing, but yeah, well done. I love this.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. That's really positive and encouraging feedback because yeah, I it's like those kinds of works you
Mhm.
wish that you could produce. And so to get that that's very encouraging. Thank you.
Yeah. Piper says, "Oh, I remember these people and the creature. I love this world." Me too. Me too.
Oh, thanks. They've got to figure out a name for him. He had a name. Anyway, that's a long story. But anyway, all right. So what did you do with these 5 words, John?
Okay, so in Marnie's world. So
Marnie's
I used 4
world.
of the 5 words. Did you use any of them?
In the very beginning, I did spell and craft, and
Mm,
then promptly forgot that there were 5 words.
that's okay. That's a prompt. They're just supposed to prompt your writing, right?
All right.
What are you doing to me, Marnie? Marnie? He had never called her anything but Miss Maxwell. I'm not doing anything to you. I'm just trying to craft a viral social media campaign. That's not what I'm talking about. Marnie was genuinely confused. What are you talking about? Mr. Boss took a step toward her, and she fought the urge to take a step backwards. She didn't know what was happening exactly, but she knew she never wanted this man to see her back down from a battle. It also helped that she was enjoying the way her heartbeat increased with each slow, methodical step he took. He stopped only when he was so close, another step would have brought their bodies into contact. Marnie had nothing left to do but look straight up at him and into his piercing blue eyes that were they crinkling at the corners? She wasn't certain if his eyes were completely on their own, challenging her, or if the entire package of his attractive looks were working to throw down the gauntlet. but she had no doubt that Mr. Boss was giving her a challenge. And as already established, she was not about to back down in the presence of this man. Ever hear of personal space? He didn't smile. I've heard of it. I'm usually a fan, but at the moment, he paused. I'm not a member of the fan club. Apparently, she said, her voice cracking. She cleared her throat. What were you talking about, if not the campaign? I'm talking about the spell. The spell? He nodded. The one you've put me under. Marty's head began to spin. It was either the triple shot Americano she downed on the way to work, or this man was guilty of what he was accusing her of doing. Excuse me, a voice from the doorway interrupted, but your father is looking for you. Mr. Boss's shoulders dropped. Of course he is. He took a step back. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, nice tension. This has got to be about like pre-third disaster, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like I think it's a mixture because like he hasn't called her anything but Miss Maxwell yet, but he's taken steps, like he's really putting themselves in close. So I don't know like if this is even usable without it being like really reworked, but it was fun to write. So
yeah, I love it. It's a really good use of the word spell. Yeah, I always love this story. It's going to be so exciting when it's a book that I can like be like, go get it off of whatever. Instead, it's like, well, you have to listen to the podcast. So you can get installments. It's a modern day serial, right? Like how Dickens and all of them, they put all their stuff out as serials first.
You know, it's funny. I could not remember what her last name was. I told Jamie this earlier, but I could not remember her last name, but I knew I'd given her a last name. So I'm like, no problem. I'll go to the podcast Google G Drive. And I will just type in Marnie. 47 different documents came up.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm like, oh my gosh. And I started going through them and realizing this isn't even all of them.
Wow.
Because when we first started doing the podcast, and for quite a while, we used my Dropbox. We weren't using Drive. And then Dropbox wanted to start charging. And we're like, no, we're not making any money on it. So we moved things over and I had to learn Drive. And so I think there's still a bunch of stuff over on Drive, but I did find her last name. But like, there's just so much sprinting, almost to the point where it's like, maybe I should just like wrap the story up through the podcast here and not try to publish it because I just don't know what to do with it. A lot of it's just probably gonna be unusable. But anyway, my whole point was that I'm realizing that her personality has changed. I've forgotten and so I have to make some decisions. Like, do I want to continue her the way I kind of wrote her in November, or do I like the original version? And I think I like the original version. She just was like in the November version, she's kind of like a wallflower and just kind of wants to like blend in, but she's really saucy with him. Like for some reason he activates her. In all the old stuff, no, she doesn't take two craps from anybody. Like, so I don't know which character I like better. I don't know. I'll have to figure this out.
It's too bad that you don't have just like a bunch of free time or that we don't have a paid assistant, because what would be really great would be to just like chop out every episode that has you reading Marnie stuff and make it like a series on YouTube of like, you know, you could just watch through. Like, do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
so like just that 5 to 7 minutes of you reading your sprint about Marnie all in like the chronological order could be like super duper fun.
I mean, it's something I could do down the road. Like when the book publishes, that would be fun to include
as like special content or whatever.
Yeah. Interesting. Something to think about.
Yeah, because our sprints are a whole separate deal from like our normal podcast fodder.
Yeah. I mean, it's always been part of the podcast, but yeah, it's like we do it at the end and it's, you know, it doesn't have anything to do with the topic.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. That's true. All right. Well, we're getting close to the end of the hour. Jamie, we talked about what we did all last month. We know we're in the middle of the 12 days of Christmas with our Patreon supporters. But what is next for you? What do you got going on right now?
Well, it's not like I want to disclose too many details, but if anybody knows, I've been commuting an hour and 15 minutes minimum one way to the office. And so the time has come for me to put an end to all that nonsense. So I am going to be moving into a teeny weeny condo, but way closer. My commute's going to go down to about 10 minutes. And so I'm super jazzed about that. But with that comes all of the stuff that's involved. Going to get the utilities put in your name and going, all of that. So that's what's going to be consuming my quote unquote free time. And then hopefully by the end of 12 days of Christmas, it won't be the next year, I guess, because we're done podcasting. So
yes, next week is our last podcast before our winter hiatus. Yes.
So next year I'll be texting you from a new location or coming at you from a new location.
I'm super excited for you. I'm also super excited to see how you're going to decorate it. That's a lie. It's my favorite part.
I know. I'm excited. But like I have lots of thoughts about that. Like the price of moving, I ended up finding a very reasonable, beg your pardon, solution. But for the price of what it would cost to literally hire movers, the way I felt about it was like, I'm just going to have junk removal come and get rid of everything and just buy new in the new place. Because seriously, for that amount of money, like my stuff is not worth that amount of money. So why am I trying to move it, But because I was able to figure out like a cheaper way, I will stick with what I have. I will be a little more disciplined about not just going out and spending a bunch of money, but then I would feel like I would have that budget to just go and replace everything, So,
I think that you should just call on a couple of the young men that that are up here that are that still adore you, and just it'd probably be cheaper to fly them down to spend like the weekend moving your stuff for you and fly them back.
It absolutely would. It's
give
crazy.
them a week at the beach afterwards. Yeah.
I used to be married to a mover, so all the time I would say moving is expensive. Thank God. Like that was exactly how I felt about it. But just it like, and if I had expensive furniture, if I had furniture I had even bought new myself, I probably would feel a little more attached to it. But I just kind of don't. I'm not attached to any of this stuff. And so I've got a truck for one day. I've got movers on either end, 2 hours on either end. Anything they can't move for me, bye, because I do not care about it, So that's the plan.
Awesome. All right. Good.
What about you? What's new? What's next for you?
So not that I need to start another project amidst all this stuff I have going on, but I have kind of been taking notes for the past several years on my books. And I think I'm ready to start working on some nonfiction that goes with my books. Like
nice.
Because I've been struggling with writing. I know that I could write an extra chapter and sell it. I'd give it as my freebie for my newsletter. Because I'm now in Kindle Unlimited, so you can't give a free book, one of your books away. So been planning on writing an extra chapter, but then I started thinking like I've been having these plans forever to write like either a Bible study or a like a book club discussion kind of a thing to go along with each of my books. And so I'm thinking that I might spend the holiday season sitting down with my books and really getting serious about doing one or the other. And then I can offer that as my newsletter subscription for now, at least. Also have it up for sale. Because then on the other side of that, I'd like to be able to offer to book clubs that if they buy my book and they do my book as a book club, that they could book me to come the last day of the book club for them to ask me questions, because it's so easy virtually to do this kind of stuff. And I thought, I'm not so big right now that I probably could not swing that for the amount of book clubs that would be out there that would want to read my book. So that's one thing. So I think I'm gonna spend the holiday season kind of just really figuring that all out and deciding like how I want to move forward with that. And so so
I love that plan. And so then, I mean, not to throw a curveball at you, but then what does that mean for like, do you need to have book 3 published to launch all of that? Or is that big book 4 to figure all that out? Yeah.
Yes, yes, I do. Yes. It's coming. I know. Be praying for me, you guys, because Jamie and I had this discussion before we went live, and I'm just frozen for no reason. And so there's a few things that I have to do, and I just can't get myself to do it. So please be a prayer for me, because I don't know. I honestly don't know if it's the Lord putting a stop to it for some reason that I don't see any reason why, or if it's just me getting inside my own head and self imploding. So yeah.
Well, it's certainly not for no reason. It's for an unknown reason.
It's an unknown reason.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yes.
Agreed.
All right. Well, maybe all that it is you're lacking a plan and a focus. And if the plan and the focus is not like, launching and trying to sell the first book, if the plan and the focus is this whole different direction, maybe that will help, because it'll feel like more part of this plan.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a planner, right? And you
Yes.
don't have an outline.
Right.
So maybe that's all that it is. You're just
Maybe
missing your outline. Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, we appreciate all of you. Like we said before, again, if you like what we do, please like and subscribe wherever possible. And I guess that's it. So until the
12th.
Until the 12th, which is next week. Be very excited. Oh, we should say we are having another Christmas special next week.
Mm-hmm.
If you liked our Christmas special from 2 years ago, was it 2 years ago? I believe so. If you liked our Hallmark Christmas special, you're going to want to tune in for next week. So until next time, may your pen be prolific, may your deadlines be met, and may all of your words honor Christ. Bye, everyone.
Bye.